Let's chat about stepping out of your comfort zone. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the series while I sit down and do my makeup. Maybe you do your makeup and we just chat about life, talk about things that are on our minds, things that we're going through. Today, I want to talk about stepping out of your comfort zone because that's something that I'm really passionate about and I talk about a lot of my podcasts. And honestly, it was something that I had to overcome to pursue a podcast. I already did my skincare, my base, all of that. We're just gonna move on to my eyebrows. So I worked in a school from 2019 to the beginning of 2022. And throughout doing that job, I knew that it wasn't necessarily for me. I was really only doing it because I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do. There was no job that I was like, I really want to do this. I mean, no one really wants to work, but I've always had the desire to do social media. But in my head at the time, that wasn't a job, that was a hobby. And there was a hobby that I tried to pursue many times, but would quit before I even gave myself the opportunity to succeed. I would post on social media in middle school, high school, I would post YouTube videos, and then I would get worried that people that I knew were going to watch them or make fun of me, and I would just delete them. So at the beginning of 2020, that's when everyone started getting on TikTok, myself included, and I started to build a following. And this was the first time I think ever that I realized I can actually make this work. I can make this work if I'm consistent with it. It was really hard to be consistent and make videos and edit videos and post videos when I was working a job Monday through Friday. My entire time working at this job, I knew in the back of my head I didn't want to stay there, but it wasn't until like the last year of working there that I was like, okay, I really gotta go. Like, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life. The thing that held me back from quitting this job was I didn't know what I would do once I quit. I didn't know how to make money from social media. I didn't know even if I were to make money, if it would be enough to support myself, pay my bills, pay my rent, like live my life. But I soon realized that there was never going to be a right time to leave that job. I wasn't gonna get a raise and be able to save all this money. If I waited a year, if I waited 4 years, I still was going to have the same desire to do social media and the same fears about leaving that job and being able to support myself. The only difference is I probably wouldn't have had the same opportunities. I would have been missing out on what's meant for me to stay at a job just because it's comfortable. That's the thing about comfort zones. They're comfortable. The thing about your comfort zone is it puts you in a box of what you can and can't do. Or should I say, a box of things you think you can and can't do. We as humans are creatures of habit. Once we master something and we're comfortable doing it, we feel safe doing it, we're good at it, we don't want to stop doing that, even if it's something that we don't necessarily want to do. The only way that changes is if you have the drive to do so, the desire to do so, the motivation, but you have to make a conscious effort to change that. Trying something new is always going to be uncomfortable because you don't know how to do it. You can't expect yourself to be a pro at something that you've never done. But the thing is, it's only scary until you actually do it. More times than not, your thoughts about doing the thing are scarier than actually doing it. The main thing that motivated me to quit my job was realizing that if I didn't make the change, then I was going to continue living the same life over and over and over again, the same day over and over and over again. I would have to wake up every day at 6:30 in the morning and work until 4 o'clock. I knew I wasn't going to be making the money that I wanted to make. I knew I wasn't going to be doing something that I love. And the idea of doing that for the rest of my life, or even doing that for another year, was scarier to me than stepping out of my comfort zone and doing this thing that I was scared to do that I knew that I actually wanted to do. Something that I think will help you a little bit when you're trying to step out of your comfort zone, trying to do something new, is think about it this way. Would you rather feel discomfort now, feeling a little judged, a little out of your element, feeling awkward because you're doing something that you want to do? Or would you rather feel discomfort in a couple years, living a life that you don't want to live and feeling like you missed an opportunity or you feel like you wasted your time, all because you were afraid of being judged or you were afraid of doing something that you don't normally do? No one who actually cares about you and likes you, your friends, your partner, your family, they're not going to make fun of you for pursuing something that matters to you. And if they do, fuck them. There's other people that will support you and be there for you. And if they're not, bye. The reason people judge you or make fun of you or doubt you is because that's how they feel about themselves, or they don't want you to do better than them. And if that's the case, they're not a real friend. They're not the love of your life. They're not someone who supports you. Other people will try to hold you back. Like, I had friends who would make fun of me for posting TikToks. I had people who didn't support me doing the podcast. And although at the time it did hurt me that those people didn't support me, they aren't the determining factor in whether I succeed or fail. I am. It all depends on if I believe those things. If I believe I'm cringy, I believe that I'm never going to succeed. Those self-limiting beliefs of yours are the thing that's going to get in the way of you doing what you actually want to do. If you tell yourself every day that no matter how hard I work, I will never achieve this, you're not going to. When I quit my job to pursue social media full time, I had to hit rock bottom. I had to literally lose it all to build myself up. So if I was just sitting there telling myself, I made the biggest mistake, I'm going to fail, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm gonna have to go back to my old job, this is all gonna be a waste of my time, I would have never gotten to where I am now. I had to full-heartedly believe in myself, even when I had $100 in my bank account. But that's where being delusional comes in and helps you. People love to say, be realistic, be logical. Imagine if I told people quitting my job, I'm going to have a successful podcast, I'm going to help people all over the world. People would literally send me to the loony bin. But I made it happen. I made it happen from nothing. I'm not a podcast nepo baby. I did that by myself. I did that by quitting my job, by doing Instacart, by selling my clothes online, by working every single day and believing that I could have what I want to have. But it all starts with stepping out of your comfort zone, believing in yourself, and showing up for yourself. People are afraid to leave their comfort zone because they're afraid that they're going to fail. But in my opinion, you fail automatically by staying in your comfort zone and not challenging yourself. Because are you really succeeding by living a mediocre life that you're not happy with? I hate when people say this, but your dream life really is hidden in your daily routine. And I don't want you to hear that and feel bad and be like, well, I have a 9-to-5 and I can't quit. I'm not saying to watch this video and then quit your job and fuck yourself over and not be able to pay your bills and take care of your responsibilities. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is what you give attention to becomes your reality. Let's say there's a job that you really want, or there's something that you really want to do, but you're stuck at the job you're at right now that you really hate and you're unable to quit. If you're not able to quit right now, just start thinking about what are the next steps that are going to bring me closer to work at this job or do this thing. Let's say that your goal is to start doing things alone. Maybe you really rely on your friends to go out and socialize. You physically need to put yourself in situations where you're alone if you want to get comfortable doing that. I'm not saying to go on vacation alone or go to a concert alone and put yourself in really uncomfortable situations. You can, but even just staying home on a Friday night by yourself, watching movies, ordering food, and enjoying your own company. Taking yourself to go get coffee, taking yourself to go for a walk. If you want to become really good at public speaking, maybe that's something you're afraid of. I'm afraid of public speaking. You hiding in the back of the class and avoiding doing a speech is not going to get you to a place where you feel comfortable and confident giving a speech. And I'm aware that you're not just gonna go up there and be like, all right, you know what? I'm not afraid of public speaking. I'm gonna crush this and then do it well. I know that it takes time. It takes baby steps to get there, but you need to be willing to take the steps. So if you want to be good at public speaking, take time to practice. Practice in the mirror, practice in front of your friends, your parents. Watch TED Talks of other people giving speeches. Google ways to overcome that fear. Baby steps are still steps. It's better than just sitting around and being like, I give up, I'm not good at this, I'll never have this, it's not meant for me, and just write it off as something that you can't have when you can have it, but you need to put yourself in the position to have it. You can't have it by sitting in your comfort zone, because that version of you that's in your comfort zone who doesn't post on social media, who doesn't do things alone, who doesn't public speak, they aren't ready for that. But the version of you who has stepped out of it and is willing to work towards it is. Like I always say, things will not change unless you do. If you want to change your life, if you want to live a better life, if you want a better job, a better boyfriend, better friends, you need to change. Because how do you expect anything to be different when you're living the same day over and over again? You're continuing the same habits. You're continuing to hang out with the same people, go to the same job, do the same things. How do you expect just one day to wake up and everything be different? That's not how it works. Listen, I'm a delusional girly. I live in delusion. But one thing I know, and I'm being a little realistic about, is you're not going to wake up to everything being different by being the same person. I'm all for being delusional, but delusion is a mindset. The perfect formula is delusion with hard work. These together will give you your dream life. But that's where I'm going to end today's video, because the ice in my coffee is melted and it tastes like shit. My makeup's done and I have things to do. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And go step out of your comfort zone. I know you're stuck in it because it's comfortable. You feel like everyone likes you as you are. I hate to break it to you. Most people probably don't like you. People suck. People are assholes. You could be the best person in the world. You could be doing everything right. You could be the most talented, successful person. They're still going to judge you. So you might as well be judged for doing things that you actually like. And if you're afraid to step out of your comfort zone because it's uncomfortable, it's new, you're scared, what is scarier? Living your current life that you're trying to change, or the journey to the life that you actually want to live? Take it from someone that had to go through that journey. It is so worth it. You're gonna look back and be like, what was I afraid of? You look back at all these times that you almost held yourself back and you're like, thank fucking God I did it, because I would have missed out on so many great opportunities and just growth in general. I am so grateful that I made the decision to step out of my comfort zone, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know the life that I'm living now. I am so happy to the point that there's times where I'm literally afraid that it's not real. My life is so good that I'm afraid that I'm dreaming. Don't you want to feel that too? Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any topics or questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. I love you, besties, and I will talk to you next video. Bye.